the wisdom and strategy to apply everything that we are going to learn here today, and our lives will not remain the same. Thank you, Father, in Jesus' name. Amen. Wisdom and strategy to
Thank you so much. Yes, I love that. The wisdom and the strategy. The doing grace. How many of us know about the doing grace? The doing grace is the best grace you want to have. Okay? One grace is to get up and say, I want to do stuff. The second grace is the doing grace, the power of doing grace, right? If you don't have doing grace, ask God to give you doing grace. Maybe that will be your praying and fasting for this month. It's God that ask for the doing grace so I can be able to stay. So if you're here this morning to read, come on camera, let's go. It's going to be a wonderful month. It's going to be a month of acceleration. It's going to be a month of different levels. Okay? So grab your book. We all know and we have already figured it out that the power is in the book. The power is in the book. So grab your book. Grab your book and let's read. Let me see. I think some people are still sleeping, right? Some people are still sleeping. So grab your book. Let's have a conversation this month. All right. We stopped at, let me see. Okie dokie. So we started the law of harvest. All right. The law of harvest and so today we're starting at page 107. Page 107. The summary. The summary of the chapter. If you're just joining us, this is our book club. We only come here to read. We read the live book, the written book. We read the unwritten book. Okay? When people tell their own story. We're here. This is a social club. We're not representing any organization. We're not representing any group. We're representing ourselves. So if you're here, you have decided to be here. So you're here for yourself. You're here for your family, your children. You're here for those that you stand in for. You're here for the community. You've decided to be the catalyst to their financial education, economic knowledge that is not adulterated, that is not biased, but knowledge that is sound, that is based on facts, not based on emotions, that's based on strategies, not based on social media, but looking at back to see what is possible. Our mind can change. How can we feed our mind? The same way you feed your daily physical body, you sleep to rejuvenate your body, the same way you're going to feed your mind. And that's what we're here doing. We're here to feed our mind. We're here to feed our daily, guiding. Let me call it our guiding agent, which is our mind. That's what we're here for. So if you're just joining us, somebody invited you, we say welcome. And the book we're reading and we're still reading is What Your CPA Isn't Telling You. That's the book we're reading. So, and this book is all about someone that have gone to the CPA to file their taxes. And they're looking at, they are currently an employee, and they're looking at for a way out. They're looking for a way out to have their tax strategies, to have the tax efficiency they can have. And they visited one CPA. It didn't tell them something. And they visited another not they visited another CPA. In the course of figuring out what to do, they stumble into another CPA who is competent. And they started asking questions. The questions you ask determines the answer you get. And one of the things that CPA recommended that in order to do what, engage and benefit from the tax strategies that will be effective for you, for your family, one thing is that you, not someone else, not another person, not a friend, not a colleague, not your brother, not your sister, you must own a small business. And in the course, they started questioning, what does it take to start a small business? And the question I have for you on the call this morning, for the book, do you have a small business? Do you even know what is a small business? So they went further to quest what it takes to start a small business. They find out that for you to start a small business, at least you need some level of knowledge in that field that you want to start that business. They also find out that for you to start a small business, there are 3 plans that must be in place: business plan, strategic plan, and marketing plan. You see a lot of people, when you reach out to them, they say, I don't like to sell. Sell is not marketing, but sell is a component of marketing. So anyone that tells you, I don't like to sell, look very well, they are broke, or they will soon be broke. Because for you to run any business and be efficient and sustain, marketing plan is part of a plan you must, it's not a choice, must have, according to this book, according to this CPA. And for you to have that marketing plan, sales is part of it. How are you going to create the visibility? How are people going to know you? No. So that is what, so far we have read this book, and they are still learning. And now we finished the law of the harvest. That was what the chapter we finished. We finished the law of the harvest. And the law of the harvest talked about adopting a system that works. Not just having a solopreneur, but adopting a system. So if you didn't join us when we're reading that, try and do that. It talks about personal accountability. And that's why I played that video that I played this morning. Because emotions will play trick on you. And that's why a lot of people get fired up when they get motivated. But when motivation wears away, discipline sustains who you are. But what if you're disciplined doing the wrong thing? So this morning, let's summarize the book, the chapter we read. Who wants to summarize? Who will read 107? Page 107, Leaving a Legacy. Who wants to read? Anyone? Tell us your name and where you're calling in from. I'm going to make Miss Amaka co-host to help us there. In case of noise, I'm going to make Miss Texas co-host. And of course, thank you, Mr. Oluwole. Is that it? I'm going to make you a course. All right. So leaving a legacy. I realize that not everyone has children, grandchildren, or family members they are supporting. But this concept in tax planning and life planning was too important to leave out of this book. Tax planning and life planning. That's one more thing the author brought out of this book. Tax planning and tax preparation are not the same. They're two different things. But majority of the middle class focus so much on tax preparation instead of tax planning. Setting the tax deduction aside for a minute, the benefit of involving your family in your business are simply incredible. Here are just one of the benefits you can pass on to your family and truly leave a legacy that pays dividends for generations to come. Involve your family members in the business. Okay? Involve your family members in your business. It's incredible. But you have to make sure you involve them from day one. Okay? You have to make sure you involve them from day one. They are part of what you're doing. They know what you're doing. You teach them how to fish, not to fish for them. You teach them how to fish. When you teach them how to fish, guess what? When they grow up, they are able to sustain your business. But you have to teach them from day one. Are they reading books? Are they watching television? What are your family members doing? Are they reading books? Are they watching television? Because the more books you read, the better you become. The more books you read, that's why a recommendation is done that you read at least up to 10 pages in a day. But what if you can start with 1 page? All right? So, the dividend that will pay generations to come. Number one, work ethics in America is at an all-time low. Work ethics in America is at an all-time low. Children are not being taught the benefit of a job well done. Not haphazard job, but job well done. We have to find ways to teach the principles, not in your small business. Or why not in your small business? Okay? Remember, one of the things that we talked about in the chapter was paying your children, how to compensate your children, not just giving them, dashing them money, but what can they do with you? And let them begin to learn the principles while they are with you. Number two, the American dream is still alive. Are you here? I want to let you know the American dream is still alive. The Canadian dream is still alive. It's not dead yet. It is on our shoulders to share the passion we have for this dream with our children and teach them more about entrepreneurship. It doesn't replace traditional education. It supplements it. I love that. Okay? Teaching your children traditional entrepreneurship does not replace traditional education, academic education. However, it supplements it. That's a good one. It supplements it. Families in America are getting torn in so many different directions. With so many extracurricular activities in families, relationships are suffering. Having a small business can create a common project for the family to work on together and rebuild those relationships. Kids don't need allowance or money given to them. Let me repeat that. Kids don't need allowance or money given to them. Earning their own money can empower them and teach financial principles they would never learn in a traditional school setting. There are also the tax benefits. We need to quit paying taxes and then paying for our dependent expenses or giving them money. Put them on the payroll, let them pay their own expenses. I agree. Okay? We are reading what your CPA isn't telling you. We can legitimately involve family members in our business, and the benefit can be astonishing. You don't have to be rich to do this. Just change the way you are moving your money. You don't have to be rich to involve your family in your business. Okay? You just have to change how you move your money. Mystique says, I know you love your children, you love your grandchildren. You don't have to be giving them money. You just have to change the way you move the same money. Can they earn it? Instead of getting it as a dash, can they earn it? If they can earn it, they will understand the principles of how the money system works, how to not to spend money anyhow. But when you give it to them without teaching them how to fish, guess what? They will think that life is that easy. That's why have you ever seen your children say, Mommy, give us your card now. Mommy, bring your card. As if your card is, the money goes from somewhere to the card. No, it's all about plastics these days. It's not all about the principle, but we want to change it back to the principle. Okay? Back to the principle. So that people can learn that it's not the plastic. Someone did the work that gives you the privilege to access the plastic. Okay? Awesome. Awesome. So think about legacy. Legacy is not handing over checks. Legacy is not handing over houses. Legacy is not even handing over business. Legacy is building the principle of those that will take over from you. Legacy is teaching those principles that will keep them going even when you're not available. If not, there's an evidence out there that it takes 7 months to squander inheritance and what you have suffered all your life. All right. Okay. Chapter 7. Your health care. Your health care. Who wants to read? Who wants to read? Your health care. I feel like I'm the only one talking. Did I mute everybody? Can someone speak? I don't think I muted
Yes,
everybody.
Dr. Ruth, I think
Okay.
everybody, we can unmute.
Okay. Okay. I want to make sure. All right. Who wants to read the next chapter? Your health care. Are you all afraid of August? I want to make sure. If you're afraid of August, wake up. August is going to do you well. Okay. All right. Go ahead. Who wants to read?
I can't put my camera on, but I can read because I'm not, I just sit up. So what page are we on?
We are on page 111.
Page 111.
What is your name and where are you calling in from?
I am Katia Des Russo, and I am calling in from New Jersey.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Go ahead.
It had only been a few months since we first met our new CPA, but we had really committed ourselves to making some changes. We attended several seminars, started networking with other small business owners and investors, watched a bunch of video and webinar, and make sure to tell our family and friends about our goals. We were making progress, even if it appears slow to outsiders. The biggest changes were in the mental shift about our future and the way we approach decision making. Our conversation were more long-term in nature, but included practical short-term tasks we need to complete in order to stay on track. It's true that things were a little overwhelming at times. We look back at our lives the year before and cherish the memories of how much simpler it seems. We worked solely for the men and had this blind faith that our 401k and Social Security would take care of us. Deep down, I think we knew we previously had a false sense of security, but the phrase ignorance is bliss is whole, so true. And although I was juggling more, I knew why and felt I was legitimately controlling my own destiny. Whenever I got discouraged, I would think back to something the CPA said when we left that first Saturday morning seminar, or our transformation, as my wife called it. Don't try to do this at all once. He said, just get your business started, set up an entity. It is necessary. Begin tracking your expenses and integrate your family into your project for tax planning. I also remember is emphasizing a point I took comfort and that gave me confidence that I was truly an entrepreneur. The most important thing is to make sure your business model is working and you are on track to making money. We aren't doing all of this just to save taxes. We can't let the tax bill wag the tail. Our money making or investment goals are the priority. The tax planning just builds the structure and purpose. I felt committed, but as I would soon find out, commitment was something that was running short in my life. The sense of safety my plan was giving me soon became more important than ever before, and all of a sudden put more pressure on me to succeed. One day, our office culture had a feeling of positive energy, upward growth, and vision, everything a lucky A lucky employee has in corporate America today. The next day, however, was not the feeling I wanted to have when going to work. It was also a feeling that many Americans have in corporate America today. There were problems, as we can find out. Sales were down. Some subsidiary wasn't doing well. The market shifted. Our parent company needed to make cuts. I don't know which one it really was. It's always a combination of various factors, isn't it? The result, our VP in the office called a meeting of the managers, and we were told that the company was going to be split up and the different operations spun off into smaller companies that were to be independent of one another. He explained this meant 401k matching was no longer a possibility and healthcare benefits were being cut. Under the new government healthcare plan, the new company structure wasn't required to pick up health insurance. I was going to have to look at the state insurance exchange or private insurance. I remember driving home that day almost in a daze. I was scared and nervous. I thought the company was always going to take care of my benefits. Not anymore. The word commitment kept coming to mind. I had been loyal to the company. I had been devoted to the plan. I went to college, got the right degree, went to work for the right company. Why was my life feeling like it was tearing on a principle and tearing on a precipice? I felt like I was holding on for dear life that night. I couldn't tell my wife the day it happened. I guess it's a guy thing. I had to hold on in it first. I had to hold in it first, process it, make sense of all of it. My company wasn't committed to me. At least it felt that way. But should I have been shocked? Believe it or not, there really isn't some guy at the top sitting in a corner office worry about me. That guy has the same concern and fears I do. He just worked for the board of directors, and he's just as worried as I am about what they might do to him next. Hell, the directors wonder how long their tenure is going to be. So they are at the mercy and suffer the temperament of the shareholders. But who are the shareholders? Guess what? There are you and me. And then the shocking reality hit me personally. I finally realized I wasn't really working for a person or a company. I was working for a system. It was all one vicious cycle. I have to admit, I don't think it's a completely bad system. I am proud of our country and capitalism. It can do amazing things. However, there are casualties in this type of system. And I had finally become one of those statistics feeling the wrath of market change. All I remember is that at that point, I had the clear and distinct feeling that I wanted to really change my financial equation more than ever. The American dream I was living was a marriage, and the system could just spit me out at any time. I didn't want to be spit out. Spit out. I didn't want to be spit out. Commitment. I needed to be committed, but committed to being more self-reliant. I needed that small business or rental property as much as I needed my career. They work hand in hand. My stockholders' comment about being diversified seemed to spill over into every aspect of my life. Damn him for not talking about small business ownership and diversifying my income. All he wanted to do was manage my investment, not guide me to a better future with my day-to-day income. I knew I needed to make lasting changes. And the rude awakening at the company that week reminded me about the vision I had when I listened to our CPA. I could do it. The next day, I told my wife about health insurance problem. She was both scared and nervous. She went through all of the same feeling I did, but with a little more emotion. What were we going to do without health care? I reminded her we could pay for Cobra for 18 months. And she reminded me how expensive it could be and asked the brutal questions. With what extra money? In the past, I hadn't taken much notice of hilarious effort to change healthcare in the 90s, Obamacare. In the last decade or any other effort by the government to change healthcare, it was too complicated with too many special interest groups controlling the outcome. Previously, I was only concerned about the cost to our growing deficit and what the impact may be on our future generation. Boy, had things changed. Now I had to pay attention more than ever. I was about to become one of those millions of Americans having to understand my options and figure out how I was going to pay for health care. After a great deal of discussion, I said to my wife, I feel we need to make an appointment with our CPA. She said we would call the office and see if we could get him soon or at least have a phone conference. It is a weird feeling when you are living out a story on the news. Insurance. My wife called to get an appointment, but due to everybody's schedule, a phone conference ended up being the most efficient way to meet. I started to understand that I had erroneously believed my entire adult life that a face-to-face meeting with my CPA was crucial to preparing my tax return or doing planning. I suppose in today's day and age, technology should also prevail even at my CPA's office. Heck, even the IRS office online feeling, why can I walk? Why can't I walk with a CPA across the country with email, overnight mail, fax, and phone? Well, we plan to make sure the kids were busy so we could throw the phone on speaker and talk about the exciting topic of healthcare. At first, I thought we were wasting our time talking with a CPA about our healthcare vows. Shouldn't we go straight to our insurance agent? So, trying to be proactive before our meeting, I dropped by my insurance agent's office. That only added to my discouragement. My agent was helpful. Don't get me wrong, she knew all about the different type of insurance policies available. However, she didn't understand the difference between the FSA, HRA, HSA, and which was best for my small business for tax planning.
Hold on, excuse me. So he stopped by his insurance agent. He's looking for insurance. By the way, let me retract back to what we read. Cobra. How many of us here know what is Cobra? Have heard the word Cobra? So the same person, let me tell you, the same experience he's having here, all of us are going to have it one day. As long as you work in America or Canada. Right now, you're working. Some of us are still working, hoping and so excited. Have you heard that statement? I have a good job. My job is the best. In fact, if you see the way our job offers good benefit. The benefit at your job is what is transactional. They don't love you. You don't love them either. In case you thought you love them, let me remind you. They don't love you. They love you enough for you to clock in and become a number to do the work, which is okay. It's a starting point. But is that going to be an ending point? When the days that companies are not required to offer you health insurance, what options do you have? What if they fire you from their job? Do you know when they fire you, the same law applies? You have within 30 to 60 days to continue with Cobra. If you do. If you do not contact Cobra, even though Cobra will send you an email, a mail, most people don't even open that mail. Okay? Most people do not open those emails. They will send it to you. If you're here, hear me out. If you quit a job, or they fire you or you fire them, whichever way it goes, pay attention to those mails that they send to your house. One of those comes from Mr. Cobra. That is his name or her name. Okay? And the goal is for you that they are giving you an option. Not because they love you. Is they are trying to make sure that obey the rules and regulations of the system. The system. Which system are you on? Which system are you operating? Is the system working for you against you? I hope it will work for you after you attended this book club this morning. Can you afford Cobra? If you know you cannot afford Cobra, this is the time to begin to think, whose system are you committed to? Whose system? Are you committed to the system that will be there for you whether you work for them or not? Unfortunately, such a system does not exist. There is no system that exists that when you are not working for them, they will care for you. If you find one, let me know. It does not exist. The only system that exists that cares for you when you're not working for them is what? Is a system that you is the architecture of that system. You are the designer. You are the planner. You are the ownership. You are the board. Your board position is not the one that somebody will wake up and relinquish. Your board position is not the type that somebody will wake up and say, hey, Miss T, it's time for you. You served 3 years, so 6 years, it's time for you to go. That is not that system. That is not the system that works for you. The system that works for you is where your board position is permanent. It's not based on vote. It's based on ownership. What do you own? Which system do you operate? Where are you keeping your commitment? Now, all of us here, do we know the difference between FSA, HRA, HSA? As a small business owner, these are some of the things you're going to be thinking about. Even if you know them, even if they may not benefit you, at least know them. Study about them, read through them. Go to irs.gov. For Canada, go to your own government site and read through these things. Because when you read through them, if you actually want to engage in having them, then you ask the right questions. But when you don't know about it, somebody will do what? Offer you a dish that you were not part of the cook. You're just picking up from the menu. Are you on the table? Are you in the menu? Even if they didn't allow you to come to the table, can you bring your own table, your seat, and find your own table? Because another person's table can be selective, but your own table, you are in charge from day one. All right, go ahead, sister.
Yes. Woo, 1 minute. 1 minute. Okay. I had to call my daughter to the rescue. Okay. Where I was. I had heard of these terms and needed explanation. Ultimately, she said, I needed to talk to my CPA. Obviously, all of these issues of insurance and benefits plans needed to be coordinated between my agent and the CPA. Which one was the best strategy for my tax planning? How would it fit into my new business model? How could I reduce my commission and still
My
get a
premium.
write-off?
My premium.
Oh, okay. I missed it. How could I reduce my premium and still get a write-off for the insurance and healthcare? This was technical knowledge my agent didn't know, or topics that would dramatically affect her commission. I needed an MBS opinion. I ultimately realized again that my CPA should be giving me more comprehensive advice than just preparing my tax return and insulting my intelligence for 30 minutes a year. I was grateful we now had a CPA with a team of planners and not just preparers. Much to our surprise, our telephone call started off with a much broader methodology to our problem than we ever expected. He made the bold pronouncement at the beginning of the call. I don't want you to rely on the government or an insurance company for your health care. I want you to self-insure yourself. Now, this doesn't mean I don't want you to take advantage of any government plan, subsidize, or tax policy to exchange your overall plan. We explore any government offering we can to help your situation. In fact, we will rely on insurance for catastrophe, healthcare needs, and shop for the most affordable insurance we can for this purpose. However, we can self-insure ourselves for all of the smaller healthcare items, get tax write-offs for all of it, and never again be subject to the whims of an employer or the government. During these high-level discussion points, my wife and I obviously agreed, politics aside. We knew we shouldn't or couldn't be relying on the government to make sure we could pay for our prescription drugs next month or even 6 months from now. But was it really possible? It seems too good to be true, and a pipe dream to think we could save money, get better tax write-offs, and also get better health care. I covered up the phone and told my wife, he's lost. He lost it. He's lost it. He truly is certifiable. Hurry, hang up the phone. My wife just rolled her eyes. I knew he didn't sell insurance, and I certainly didn't want some self-insurance scam promulgated by some incorporation service out of Nevada. I wonder where he was heading with all of this. Please, hear me out, he urged. It's really a three-part process to understanding how you can take control of this whole healthcare mess. These parts are: what type of insurance plan is best for you and your situation? 2, which strategy is most effective to write off my medical expenses? 3, how can I self-insure myself and or family for future healthcare costs? Then he cautiously warned us, this is a lot of information. I am not going to lie to you. Thus, I'm only going to be able to give you the basic outline on this call. But with some education through my written material and videos, as well as a little bit of personal consultation, you can be off and running. When we are finished with the process, you will truly feel that you can literally control your own reality in regards to healthcare. Something millions of Americans are starving for. I was spellbound and praying. Don't let me down. Please give me something legit. He started out explaining step 1 and the various type of insurance. Of course, I wanted to see one of his famous diagram. I said I was frustrated with the fact that I couldn't see him up at the whiteboard. He said, no problem. We have the technology. I love it. A nice $6 million man throwback quote. He had a cool web service. We just logged onto a website and he had a virtual whiteboard for us right there on the screen. He then drew up a diagram showing us the different type of insurance plan we needed to be familiar with. See figure 7.1. He explained that because it is temporary, the most expensive insurance is COBRA insurance. Second was group insurance because it insures the most unhealthy employee in an organization. This also, of course, stands to be the mainstay of big insurance company and creates the biggest battle in Congress. Insurance companies love this type of insurance and want everything on it. It is their most profitable plan. With persuasiveness and heartfelt concern, our CPA said, please, don't think you have to have this type of insurance. Too many Americans feel they are a prisoner to their current job because they need the benefits and can't afford to lose them, or so they think. Entrepreneurs soon discover that they can create a group of their own if need be. Entrepreneurs soon discover that they can create a group of their own if need be. And there are also independent policy if you have the right situation. Believe it or not, independent policies are actually very accessible and affordable. Don't
So,
feel.
hold on, sister. Let me ask a question.
Mm.
How many people have heard what this author just said? Have you heard your brother, your uncle, your friend said, if not for this insurance, if not for health insurance, I could have left this job? Who have heard about that? Who have come across that?
Many times.
A lot of times.
All the time, all the time.
If not for this health insurance, oh, do you know, I just joined military because they have the best benefits. In fact, they will take care of all your family members if they fall sick.
They're
see
all on
this
the
job-
street.
You see this job I just got? Huh? Oh my goodness. Their health insurance is the best. Someone is being held hostage.
I, for one, Dr. Ruth, like right now, I'm on short-term disability. So I keep saying I want to fire my boss, but right now I can't fire them because my insurance is taking care of me. So I need the insurance. So I keep saying I can't fire them because their insurance is good. It's so wonderful. It's taking care of me and my family. I can't quit the job. So I've been in the job for a long time. Each time I want to quit, I thought of the insurance and I will not quit. Thank you.
Oh my God. Okay. Anybody else want to share? How many of you have had job insurance that you want to leave, but you can't leave because of what? The
Insurance.
The benefit of insurance. Do you all know that you are actually the one paying for this insurance? Even the one at your job. You're actually the one paying for it. You're clocking in and out. Their own portion of whatever they pay for insurance, do you know it's tax deduction? It's tax strategy for them. Is your own also tax strategy? I have no clue. So you can see how real this book is. And this author is bringing this home. But there's something he said, you too can have your own insurance. You too can. But the question is, do you know how to go about it? Have you paid attention to it? In fact, the word insurance is the word that most people don't even want to engage in. The word insurance, health insurance, car insurance, mortgage insurance, life insurance, disability insurance. Oh my God. Every corner you turn is insurance. You go to Walmart, you buy something, they say, oh, do you need protection on it? But do you also realize that that is the only topic, the least topic any family wants to engage in? In fact, some people, if not that the law is mandatory for car insurance, for mortgage insurance, they will not even buy it. It will become the last discussion for them to get into it. But my people, we live in the country, in Canada, US, the life is based on insurance. Insurance is the foundation of their system. So if you're shy in engaging in the discussion of insurance, I want to let you know I'm so sorry you're missing out. Because whether you like it or not, you are paying for it either in a government way, through Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. You're paying the premium from the one you started work, or you're paying the premium through private insurances, or you're paying the premium through your own what? Self-owned insurance. It's not a choice, you're paying it. But how I wish you can be able to do it self-reliance. You will see you will have peace of mind that money may not buy. Because you not wake up for someone to abandon you on the wall unless you do not pay your what? Your premium.
Yeah.
You must pay your premium with no choice. You must pay your premium. Anybody that tells you you're going to get insurance for free, not even Medicaid. Do you all know that Medicaid is not free?
Mm-hmm.
Have you all heard about Medicaid recapture? Who have heard about that word, Medicaid recapture? Who can explain it?
They send the letter to you. If when you pass away, they can come after your assets or things that you own.
So my people, when you are planning for those Medicaid, you're applying for them. Don't ever think that you're applying for some free kind of stuff. No. You're going to pay it back in one way or the other. By the way, you already pay it upfront by the taxes you pay, right? Because that money is also coming from your tax you paid. But it's not enough. You're also going to pay it afterwards. And they have system in place. Do we have anybody here who actually have worked or have encountered that maybe through a family member? Okay, let's not just talk about the theory. Anybody that have come across a Medicaid recapture process? Anyone? Okay, I pray you don't. Oh, okay. Miss T, go ahead, share your story.
Yes, Dr. Ruth. I just wanted to tell those who are scared of leaving their full-time job that I only had group insurance, health insurance, when I was in school. As soon as I started working, I worked for only 2 years full-time. I quit my job and started traveling as a travel nurse. I had to get my own insurance. I was shopping and it was so good. I mean, I was free. I had the freedom to do what I wanted. Of course, when I joined some companies, they would give me their insurance only for 3 months because contracts were like 3 months. You can extend, but I had my own basic insurance, which I carried. I shopped around. It was great. I didn't have to be tied to any organization. Even now, I work for another hospital. I never got their insurance because it was very expensive. Thank you, Dr. Ruth.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay.
Dr. Ruth, I have come across, sorry.
It's okay. Go ahead, Miss Amy.
I have come across, the recapture. So it's a friend of my dad, the wife, got sick, ended up, chronically ill. And so they applied, for Medicaid and it was approved. She eventually passed away. And as soon as she passed away, they took the money. The woman had $30,000 in her savings. The state took it. And then they wrote a man the letter that he owes $360,000.
Up to like 255, 170. At least for the last 8 years since.
Don't let me meet these people. All right, go ahead, man.
Yeah, so that you muted me instead.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, so that they owe $360,000. which they will have to pay, you know, whenever he sold the house. And then he applied for trust. He did his trust, and they wouldn't. The state refused to add, you know, their house to his trust. So
Oh, okay.
yeah,
He did
because
a
it's
trust and he's trying to add the house to the
yes,
trust.
yes,
They refused him to add the house to the trust because he's owing them.
yes.
Okay, interesting. Interesting. Oh my goodness. Guys, the system. The system. What system do you know? Miss Emilia.
I had experience with Medicare when my mom was sick. Medicare is not free. For every diagnosis, they have certain number of days that you can receive healthcare system, in the hospital. And also too, I think my mom signed up for Medicare late. So they were charging a penalty every year. And it wasn't cheap. It's like $170 dollars, like I think every month or every year. I can't even remember. So when I got to realize about it, I said, no, Medicare is a rip-off. If I've signed up for insurance, why don't I pay penalty for certain number of like months, and then you let me off the hook? But this is for the rest of her life, they told me.
So you're paying
That's what
penalty. You're
Yes,
paying penalty for applying for Medicare.
yes. You supposed
Wait.
to, like, maybe like when you are almost like 65 or so, or 45, 64, you're supposed to sign up. They will give you the opportunity to sign up for it. But if you don't and you let that age pass, yeah, they will still allow you to sign up. But then you pay penalty for signing up late for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's when they were advertising for open enrollment.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So if you miss the open enrollment, you will pay penalties. And it's not a one-time penalty.
I will clarify that, Miss Amelia.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
You have 3 months prior, you turn 65, and 3 months after you turn 65 to apply for Medicare. Part A is going to come to you automatically once you turn 65. But Part B, you must contact your local Social Security office in order for them to give you Part B and Part D as well. So if you did not do that while you were 65 within the window time frame that they have given you, yes, you will incur a lifetime penalty. I am receiving Medicare right now because I am disabled. So, of course, the Part B is not free. Every month, they will deduct 200. Every year, the cost goes up. But when I first started, it was 165, 180. Then now it's at 200. Every year, the inflation, whatever the little bit that they give you, they increase your Part B as well. So you have to be mindful of that. Medicare is not for free, even though, yes, it is a federal government program. Yes, they're deducted from your paycheck when you're working. But even after you retired or if you disable, yes, you will have it, but you will still have to pay for Part B on a monthly basis. So no matter how much they're giving to you, that they will deduct the portion for the Part B. But if you dare to be late for the Part D, you will incur a penalty for the rest of your life, and it's accumulated. Part B and D, you don't want to be late for.
And if I can also add, I'm a recipient of Medicare. It also depends on how much you were earning, not even that year, the previous years before you even joined. They go back. She's telling me people are paying 100, right? 160?
Yeah, 200 right now.
200. I
it's
pay 600 a month for Medicare, which some people think is free. That's Part B.
Part B.
In fact, Part B, they ask you to find, you pay something. I pay 27 to that carrier plus $600 every month. So now I've quit working many hours so that they reduce it, but they go back to 2 years. And I'm thinking by the time they come to this year, oh my God, well, somebody's paying so less. They go back history. Nothing is for free. 600. And I'm sometimes it's like, oh my God, I thought it would reduce. It was $595. It went to 600.
It's based on your
And
income limit. If you're earning a higher
income limit, they call it IMA, IMMA.
It's based on your income limit. If you're still working and you 65, yes, you have to pay a higher cost than somebody who's not earning as much.
Did you all hear that? I hope
And I won't even get it.
I just hope that people can.
Excuse me, is it mandatory? Must we have it?
No, if you work in the country for 10 years, you completed the 40 quarters, you will be automatically have the Part B coming to you once you turn 65. But if you're in the country and you work for less than 10 years, you will have to pay out of pocket, and it could be costly.
So
I'm 74 and I
okay.
started taking it as soon as I could because we was in full-time ministry. And it wasn't always like this, people. I'm telling you, every year or every presidential administration, they get laws that they sneak in and they change stuff. My parents didn't have to deal with this. You know, elders didn't have to deal with this. So it's just amazing to me how evil things have gotten. I'm just giving you my perspective because it can be horrible. I've seen it.
Yeah, but if you are still working, let me clarify that. If you are still working, like you still have a job and you did not apply for the Part B or the Part D, you are fine. As long as you have a job, you can show proof that you had insurance. So you're not going to incur any penalty. But if you did not, and then the 6 months that they had given you had bypassed, you will incur a penalty. So you
Well,
do.
I'm not paying anything. I'm just saying that because if you don't understand the tricks, they will get you because they even started charging me 185, I think it was the year before. And I had to go through all of this rigmarole at the what is it, Social Security Administration? Those
Yes.
people were evil. I mean, I met the worst customer service. They're very disrespectful and they won't help you out. I said, what the heck is this? I worked for this. I did. I did not do, I wasn't on welfare and I wasn't on food stamps all my life because, some African Americans have been stuck in that. But by the same token, they don't care who you are. They don't, it's like this, their money. They're not going to give it to you. I mean, it's been a book. Yeah, I could write a book on what I've seen, but no, right now I'm in between everything until I get on a different business level of income. But right now, yeah, I'm telling you, it's been horrendous.
Okay. All right, my people. Here's the thing. I kept quiet for my people to talk because they are eligible and competent and credible to discuss this topic. Whatever we read in the book is fine. But the best book is the people living it
Yes.
right now. All the lies is okay. But the reality is the people right now. Guys, we have been lied to so much. Oh, this thing is free. It is not free. It's called what? Insurance. Medicaid is insurance. Medicare is insurance. Social Security, all of them, they are all called what? Government insurance. So you are paying the premium from day one. And you cannot call to cancel the premium. How many of you here have private insurance you want to wake up and cancel? Oh, my premium I'm paying is too much. But this one, you can hear that if you don't have evidence of insurance, it didn't apply for Medicare, you finally apply, you pay penalties. Guys, let's open our eyes and begin to see the system and begin to talk about it in our little corners. So we'll save. No wonder suicide is high. Besides the age of 10 to 24, another time suicide is high is old age. Why? Can you imagine someone who have dedicated their life, committed to someone's board of directors, and only to, when it's time for the entitlement, they have to also stay on the line, go through all the rigorous everything. Think about it. My sister, somebody said they are evil. The people in that office you met don't even know because they too will go through it. They don't even know what they were doing. It's continuation of a system, slavery system.
Amen.
It's the continuation. That is my perspective. Because everything you see, every law you see written is based off of the treatment of a slave man. Now they put it and make it legalized. through paper, and all of us are going through it. But the people you meet in the office, the people you call on the phone, the employee too. One day they will reverse and come back to where you are. So be patient. Amarachi has spoken. Emilia, is that a new Emilia or the first one?
I want to ask a question, Dr.
Yes, ma'am.
Please, I had something I want to be clarified. Does it mean that what you pay on the Medicare Part 1 is depending on how much you work during the time you're still in service? I didn't understand that, please.
So in America and Canada, whatever government programs you receive, exclusion of disability, even the disability, okay, depends on how much service you have given to them. There are a number of years and hours you have to work to receive those benefits, and they record them. You can't even cheat them because they have your record. Every year they have your record. Now, just like they say your income level. So those services depends on the income, your income level, your time of service, and how long you stay in that service. That is why you see some immigrants that just came, they don't have enough time to offer service. They may not receive certain things. Okay, that's a very good question. Okay, so now what is your responsibility? Is to go to IRS and figure out what's the years to qualify for this, to qualify for that, to qualify for this, how much money you're going to get. If you're going to qualify for Medicaid is different from Medicare.
Yes.
If you're going to qualify for Medicaid, also it depends on income level. But this income level of Medicaid is what? How poor you are. So the reverse. How poor are you? Because you have to be really, really poor. And if you use their Medicaid, if the person happen to die, they will come for what they call Medicaid recapture. If Medicare, especially, is based on number of years and hours you worked and your current income you're making, determines how it operates. The amount of Social Security you receive depends also on how many years you work, the other portfolios you have, okay, also will determine whether your Social Security will be subject to taxation or not. These are the systems, and it's not hidden. It's in the open, but you have to take the responsibility to learn them. Unfortunately, nobody talks about them. People don't learn about them. They learn it when they retire. And by then it's too late, you can't go back.
Yes.
It's too late, you can't go back. Yes, Matilda. Matilda.
Thank you, Dr. Ruth. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I do have a line I wanted to read for our state of Maryland.
Okay.
Just something to help people who are in Medicaid. Um, it says this is our long-term care course in Maryland. It says, in summary, Medicaid will pay for nursing home care even of long duration, provided its requirements are continuously met, but patient must impoverish themselves. So you have to be poor for you to be taken care of. So this is the reality. So you need to be poor. Just imagine you are making a lot of money right now, and then you want to qualify for Medicaid. You need to be poor.
Forget
So
about
poor
it.
it really means poor. And I have a testimony. There was a brother I spoke to few years ago. I told him about the process of what happened when we died. He lived here in Maryland. Last year he died, unfortunately, and the wife because the brother was already taking he was receiving Social Security. So last year, the wife went to Social Security office to also claim back the Social Security the husband was receiving. Guess what? They told her she has to wait for 5 years. She was shocked. So the law has changed. She didn't know. She has to wait for 5 years in order for her to start receiving Social Security.
That's correct. Thank you so much for sharing. Miss
You're
Victoria
welcome.
A. Victoria A.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning.
Good
Good
morning.
morning, Dr. Katie. Yeah, good morning, everyone. I'm not of the age to receive Medicare yet, but I just wanted to throw something out there. Maybe someone can shine a little bit more light for me on working in Wisconsin as a nurse. I heard of another nurse that used to work with us. She was an older nurse, and I heard that okay, she was like older, and then she spent some time in the nursing home. I heard, and then I think she had Medicare, and after she died, I heard that they repossessed her house.
Okay,
After
let me
spending
read.
time in the
So
nursing home.
Victoria, let me read something on the line of all of them fall under LTC requirement. Let me read something. Somebody that was studying on that LTC long-term care requirement for Pennsylvania sent to me yesterday. By the way, remember, we're not representing any organization, nobody. This is us having the real conversation, the real system conversation. This is what you say. It says, if you're asking about Medicaid look back period in New York, oh, this is New York. Nursing home Medicaid, 5 years, 60 months. Medicaid review financial transaction for the 60 months before you apply for nursing home coverage. If you give away assets or sold them for less than fair market value during that period, you may face a penalty period before Medicaid will pay for your nursing home care. This is New York. It's important to distinguish this from estate recovery, which other people call what? Medicaid recapture. Estate recovery. Estate recovery is not limited to 5-year period. After a Medicaid recipient dies, New York may seek reimbursement from the person's estate for certain Medicaid benefit paid after age 55 or while permanently institutionalized. There is no look back time limit for estate recovery in the same sense as the Medicaid eligibility rules. Guys, these are the things we need to know before we start do what? Signing papers. Especially those of us that said, when I get there, I'll use the government property. I will be a government recipient. Note that you're going to meet one spend down, that's what they call spend down, to be eligible in the first place. And there's another thing I just read here, and I said, even if you say your property at a lower market value,
Yep.
maybe you want to give it away just to qualify, they will also catch up with you. But when we die, we all will die one day, 120 years and above, 110. But me, my contract is 120 years. Either way, I will still die after 120, right? Guess what? You use that product, estate recovery, which another word, Medicaid recapture. Okay? They do not have time limit. They will come and get it. Oh my God. The last person to speak will continue is Adeyemi.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to add that in this particular situations, the ones I've been through, it is better to call the 800 number than to deal with the offices. And I'm not the only one who's had this experience going through this. Because, like I said, we had a 501c3 ministry and we ministered to the poor. We lived with the poor. And, we just never had a whole lot of income. We didn't build a big church. We were out on the street ministering to the people in the street. So, anyway, the thing is, call the 800 numbers if you have some information because the young people there, they saved me because they were trying to get $8,000 back from me because they found out that I had a bond. I think it was, I can't remember the type of bond. Some bond I bought in 1982 something when my kids were babies. And I lost it during a divorce because I had to move different places. And when I married my husband, our ministry took us from New York to Georgia to Louisiana to Dallas and back to Delaware before he passed away. But by the same token, when I'm trying to, after I had applied for everything I could, they found this thing on the system that I had a couple of, I think it was something like $1,500. The bond had matured over all that time. And I forgot about it. I lost it somewhere. I didn't even know it was there. So I'm just telling you, they will check your social security number, try to find out what kind of accounts you have. And they tried to charge me $8,000 that I would pay them back. And when I called the 800 number, the young folks say, "Oh, ma'am, you ain't got to pay that. Just put in this claim or put in this form, fill out this form." And they sent me the form. I fill out the form, send it right back in. And I protested and I resisted it. So the 800 number kids, and they told me a whole lot of stuff nobody in the office ever told me. And that's just one area where I'm just going to give you a point there. If anybody has any more questions about that the 800 line, those young people will help you.
Awesome. Awesome. So it don't just wake up and say I've retired though. Gotta plan for retirement, guys. You gotta know where all your financial portfolios are sitting. Now she mentioned about bond. I remember I bought from Treasury and you go find them where they are. I need to go find where they are sitting and what they're supposed to be doing. Oh my goodness, guys. You cannot be this. All right. Sister, where are you? Let's go back to that page. We are still reading page 117. Okay.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
The main point he wanted to make initially, and be sure we
No,
were
we
willing.
we are at the need, the benefit, and can afford to lose them, or so they don't think. Let me see.
Oh, no, we did that.
Accessible. Okay.
Yeah.
Accessible. Go
Okay,
ahead.
that's okay. We can read that line again. It's okay. Entrepreneurs soon discover that they can create a group of their own if need be. There are also independent policies if you have the right situation. Believe it or not, independent policies are actually very accessible and affordable. Don't feel trapped. My clients soon discover there are more options than they realize. The main point he wanted to make initially, and be sure we were willing to buy into, was the concept of high deductible insurance. Even if we were terribly unhealthy, or generally would be better to have a high deductible plan, reduce our premium, and use out of pocket money for the difference. I started to understand that saving on premiums and paying out of pocket when and if necessary can truly save thousands. Now, come the fun part, as he termed it. Saving on insurance premium is only the beginning. We then want to utilize the right structure. To save on taxes with our actual out-of-pocket costs and also control the expenses, he says. He said, again, another world of planning and saving was opening up right before my eyes. I couldn't wait to hear the rest. Writing it off. We then started to dive into the second step in this process and understand which strategy was best to deduct all of this stuff. At first, I was shocked to hear the CPA when he said about 97% of Americans try to write off their healthcare expenses as an itemized deduction and phase out. They can't write off their medical expenses. I realized the truth of this when I remember it. When I remember it had actually happened to us. Many newly married couple come to the shocking realization that they can only write off medical expenses over 7.5% of their adjustable gross income. He also explained that this included health insurance expenses. If you have to pay for your own insurance and don't own a small business, you have a 3% chances of writing it off. Fortunately, small business owners can at least write off all of their medical insurance premium. What all this technique jargon means, he said, is unless you have some sort of border plan, you are screwed. You can't write off any of your medical expenses or business. No, you can't write off any of medical expenses or insurance because you make too much money. We admit it. We had given up years ago trying to write off medical expenses and keeping receipts. He said, no more, not you. My clients proactively plan for the right type of health insurance and have at least a small business on the side, and we make sure we write off all of their medical expenses, all of them. He introduced the next diagram on his cool little computer program, and we watch it right there on our screen. There are 4 ways to write off medical expenses. Let's put it in perspective. Let's look at figure 7.2. Just to be right, that's kind of important. Oh, if I can see it. Nope, sorry, glasses fail me. As usual, this was a lot to digest. He said he had a more detailed summary of each type of plant and would email it to us. We also committed to watch the video he mentioned earlier on this very topic. A copy of the written summary is in Appendix G. The first method that the majority of Americans try to use in writing of their medical expenses is that of the itemized deductions. The futile effort we just discussed, he then explained the second most important method in attempting to write off medical expenses was that of the flexible spending account, or FSA. This is the cafeteria plan that millions of Americans use each year to some degree and feel they are doing an excellent job at tax planning. These are also known as use it or lose it accounts. Employers can designate a certain amount to be withheld from their paycheck before taxes and use the money for a host of out-of-pocket medical expenses. He said emphatically, sounds great, except for the lost of it part. Many taxpayers don't use this strategy because they are afraid they won't use the fund and will get stung. However, he said he told clients who are W-2 employees who have a great health insurance plan and a generous FSA to try to use it as best as they can. The third type of strategy that far fewer Americans are familiar with is the health reimbursement plan, or HRA. Before I could ask what the big difference was, he pointed me to the diagram and the list under the HRA column. See, this is a reimbursement plan in your business for medical expenses you incurred during the year. It's not an account that you lose if you don't spend it, nor does it grow like a health saving account, something we'll talk about in a minute. It is simply a plan to reimburse your employee for all of their medical expenses. He explained that the HRA is self-administered. You don't need to open an account anywhere, and you don't even have to have health insurance. The critical part, however, is that you had to have a small business operation. Then you could set up a proper structure based on your family situation. Apparently, your marital status and how many out-of-pocket medical expenses you have dictates in large part how you structure an HRA within your business plan. My wife then asked the obvious question I was wanting to ask as well. So, when does an HRA make sense? He replied with confidence. Essentially, you need to consider an HRA when you have out-of-pocket medical expenses over and above your insurance premium, or at least $4,000 a year. He added that this was a general figure, but a good benchmark to use when considering which plan is best in your situation. I need that. I'm guilty. I need that because my out-of-pocket copay is $8,000 for my power chair, guys, because I use a wheelchair. He explained that the only drawback with an HRA from an implementation standpoint was that it was tricky with an S corp, but still double, making the point that, again, it depends on the individual situation. He then had us reference various diagrams depicting how the HRA could be structured for married or single taxpayers. I also included these in Appendix G at the end of this book for your reference. The gist of the strategy was first understanding that if you have an S corp for ordinary income business planning, the HRA needs to be handled in a separate entity. If you are married, the HRA will be deducted by hiring your spouse and a family management company operated as a sole proprietorship. If you don't have an S corp, the HRA can easily be included in your sole proprietorship without many headaches at all. When you are single, if you have a large amount of medical expenses, then a C corporation may have to be brought into the mix to maximize the medical expense. But again, this is only after a carefully financial analysis to make sure it makes sense. Bottom line, the CPA said in regards to HRA, if we can't write off your medical expenses with an FSA or HSA, we'll consider the HRA and run the numbers to see if we should implement one. At that point, the CPA had to jump off the phone and solve a quick problem. He asked if we could hold for a moment. While we were on hold, my wife said in a serious tone, "This HRA thing is maybe just what my sister needs." "Your sister?" I said in utter shock. "Let me explain," she said lovingly.
Guys, where are the small business owners? Okay. Most of us, I'm an entrepreneur. I don't know for most people here. If you're one, it means that we have not finished the structure yet. Most of us have not even started the structure, the planning. We have a lot of work to do. But one thing you must have in mind as you're doing is that whatever you do is your own situation. You're not going to use Obi's situation, Peter's situation to do what? To look at your own situation. Where is your best, if you're in the United States, where is your best place to go? IRS. Website. That is where all the truth. They say, know the truth shall set you free. Go there before you consult anyone. Read, understand. I know for most of us that were able to come to the call this morning, we are about 251 now. Okay, for most of us, they're already in this call, on this call, knows that. At least you know you're going to consider your marital status. If you're getting the HRA, you're going to consider your business structure. Okay? So nobody's going to shovel stuff through your throat anymore. You're going to look at it, you know those questions you ask. Marital status, business structure, what type of business structure do you have? Of course, how much medical expenses are you incurring? Are you going to cure? And your premium that you pay. These are most of the things that you also consider. If the people trying to set up do not consider setting up, okay? So it's interesting to know the things that are out there that can help us, all of us, stay in the system, operate in the system, and be efficient and maximize what we have. Okay? And when you're reaching out to people, do your own due diligence. Don't say, oh, these people, I met them at the book club. No, remember, this is an open pub, is a public place, social club. You're here, you're responsible for yourself, but we're here to read together, share knowledge together. We're the co-hosts. Okay? So we're here to share knowledge so that we can better ourselves. We can better our community. I love what I'm hearing. I love what we're reading. I hope it will add value to us. Okay? I've engaged with HRA. I've heard about it. I've kind of at some point, engaged with the discussion, but I have not actually set it up. So this is a wake-up call for me this morning to go back to the drawing board to see where I left off so that I'm not losing money on the table. Okay? Remember what was it Robert Kiyosaki who did, I think, yeah, or Warren Buffett. He said, make money but never do what?
Never lose money.
Never lose money. So if you're able to make the money, remember the words of Warren Buffett, say don't lose it. Whatever you can do not to lose it is rule number 1 and 2, according to Warren Buffett. Okay? All right. Who wants to help my sister? Who wants to read from Taking Control? Who wants to read? Okay, page 122. Take control. Taking control. Who is ready to read? I see some people, either you all are doing praying and fasting today that I don't want to talk too much on this day. Okay. So I need someone else to read. Thank you so much, sister, for reading and the excitement you brought to the book.
No problem.
All right. Who else? We want volunteers. We don't want to volunteer anybody.
Okay. Taking control. I'll continue. No problem. We're always time. That's fine.
No, we have 249 people here. Somebody else should read.
We like her voice.
Oh.
No, now we hear your voice. Go ahead. No, we can't like her voice alone. We need somebody else's voice. Or I will volunteer people. Okay. All right, Miss T, let's go.
Yes, I was about to volunteer, but Dr. Ruth, I always read. I want to give others a chance.
Yeah, Miss JC.
Yes, good morning. Good morning. Taking control. We are now on page 122.
Go ahead, ma. You're muted.
Taking control. We really talked about her sister and brother-in-law. They lived across the country and we weren't really close to them. Then it hit me. It was a pretty sensitive topic and I didn't put 2 and 2 together at first. My wife's sister had been going through a battle with cancer. They lived in the Midwest and her husband had been working as a sales rep for a pharmaceutical company. They thought they had pretty decent health care. Hell,
Wait right there. They thought they have what?
a
A
pretty
pretty
decent
decent
health care.
healthcare. An assumption, guys. Please, as we live here, don't thought. Be proactive. Don't assume stuff. Because when the time comes, it's going to bounce back to you, you and your family. People's opinion is relevant now that you're healthy. But when you need help, you see that people's opinion may not pay the check, may not pay the bills. Go ahead, man.
They thought they had a pretty decent health care. Hell, he worked for a company in the healthcare industry. However, after surgery and a second round of chemo, their coverage wasn't what they thought it was. In fact, they had told us in a phone call around the holidays that more than half of the bankruptcies in America were because of medical expenses. And there were people who had health insurance before claiming bankruptcy. They had told us they were doing all they could do to pay the bills. They had told us they were doing all they could do to pay the bills. And on top of that, he mentioned they were getting killed with taxes. Right then, a thought occurred to me. I said, isn't he a 1099 sales guy for that company he works for? There was silence for a moment. Then my wife pushed me across the room with excitement in a move that rivaled Elaine on a Seinfeld episode. You are right.
Laptop's wet. Make sure that it like support.
Sorry.
Go ahead,
They
Miss.
told us they were doing all they could to do. They had told us they were doing all they could do to pay the bills. And on top of that, he mentioned they were getting killed with taxes. Right then, a thought occurred to me. I said, isn't he a 1099 sales guy for that company he works for? There was silence for a moment. Then my wife pushed me across the room with excitement in a move that rivaled Elaine on a Seinfeld episode. You are right, she said. And then at the same time, we both said, I bet you he doesn't have any escort. We were both grinning from ear to ear. Then, with a very serious expression, she said, my sister could really use this information about the HRA. I returned, a lot of people could use this information. In complete exasperation, I threw my shoe across the room and said, why didn't our old CPA or even our insurance agent bring this up before? I don't know, my wife muttered. Maybe they don't tell us this stuff because they don't know about it either. Or maybe they just don't know how to tell us. When the CPA got back on the line, we jumped right into the fourth method to write off your medical expenses and also opened up the third step in the overall process, how to self-insure ourselves for years to come. Little did I know that health savings account, or HSA, we would discuss next, or HSA we would discuss next would be completely life-changing for us. I've heard of this type of account. I commented with excitement. My brother, the chiropractor, might have one of these. Sorry. My brother, the chiropractor, might have one of these. With equal enthusiasm, he explained, these HSA are amazing. Here is the list of things you can do with this. Get a tax deduction on the front page of your tax return that is increased each year for inflation. And it's not an itemized deduction that is limited by your adjusted gross income. 2, a special account is created much like in IRA. 3, you don't lose it if you don't use it. 4, the balance grows tax-free from year to year. And 5, tax-free. You can pull out money without penalty or tax for a whole list of medical expenses for the rest of your life.
Interesting.
My wife asked with skepticism, we can actually write off prescription drugs, chiropractic, co-pays, dental, eyeglasses, etc. Yep, he said. As a matter of fact, you can. It was crazy talk I was hearing. So what's the catch? I demanded. The only requirement, he said, is that you have to have one of those high deductible health insurance plans I talked about earlier. The limits that qualify as a high deductible plan change each year. Please see my website for the current description of a qualifying plan, but the beauty is how affordable they can be. So I said, essentially what you are doing with these plans is buying catastrophic insurance if your medical expenses go off the chart. No pun intended, I had to add. Exactly, he said. Sorry. Exactly, he said. And then you take the savings from high deductible plan and contribute them to your HSA. See, this account is yours to keep for health care for the rest of your life and stays with you wherever you go. Immediately, my wife was a little nervous. She asked, what if we don't use the HSA for health care? What happens to it? He explained, we shouldn't forget we can use it for long-term care many years from now. But if we don't even use it for that, we can use it like a regular IRA and pull it out under typical IRA rules. Also, if we die, it can be inherited by our spouse or family. Wow. Unbelievable, I said and added. Why aren't insurance agents selling every one of their clients on these HSAs? The CPA wisely explained that HSAs aren't for everyone and also reminded us to remember the low premium aspect of these plans. Can you figure out why they aren't selling more of these high deductible policies? He asked. I just sighed and frowned. I thought about human nature being exemplified to its fullest again. In a fairly simple to understand dialogue, he explained that if you and all your family are generally healthy, you can be the winners in these plans, not the insurance company. Instead of overpaying for insurance we don't need, we can take the savings and self-insure ourselves. But the beauty of the whole strategy is that we can then carry around our HSA, Visa, or MasterCard and pay cash for healthcare expenses, including dental, chiropractic, and a host of other expenses. We now become more engaged than ever before in taking care of ourselves. We have a renewed interest in preventive health care and can also negotiate for lower charges because we are paying cash outside of the insurance system. This entirely new approach can not only drive down our own healthcare costs, but also eliminate costs that could normally burden the system. The commitment to preventive healthcare procedures is the most affordable procedure in healthcare systems around the world. We become more motivated to be healthy because we are self-insuring ourselves for the little things. When we got off the phone, I think my wife caught the vision of the HSA even more quickly than I did, and started to summarize the combination of all these benefits, it was truly astonishing. My wife started to think practically about our current situation and exclaimed, honey, the awesome part of this is that instead of paying for this expensive Cobra plan your company insurance agent is pushing, we can switch to an independent high deductible insurance plan and put the savings into our HSA account. We get a tax deduction, and if we don't need the money for the deductible, it continues to grow tax-free. And check this out, she stammered. We can write off the health insurance premium in my gift basket business and the contribution to the HSA every year. We are going to save a ton. At this point, she was hugging me with so much excitement that, like any good husband, I made an overture for the morning roll in the sec and asked her if we could write off Viagra as well. She immediately said, yep, let's go, baby. She wasn't kidding on both counts. I don't think I could have ever imagined how fun tax planning could be. It was incredible on both counts again. Wow, wow, wow.
Wow, wow, wow. Guys, it's all about planning. When you plan right, failure to plan is planning to fail, right? When you plan right, it comes with excitement, it comes with joy, and it brings peace to the family. This is amazing. Okay, assignment to everybody. Go home and research.
Amen.
Okay, HSA
HSA.
and HRA. Research all of them and see how it benefits you and your small business. Then take action. Okay, Professor Nick.
Yeah, Dr. Ruth, good morning. Good morning to everyone. It's been a wonderful, wonderful morning reading this. I just want to testify to HSA. I have HSA, and it's a lifesaver. I never had to worry about co-paying anytime I go to the hospital or I use it to pay for, off-the-counter medications and stuff like that. And I didn't even know how wonderful it was until, I get my statements and I see that I can also use it during my taxes. You get tax deduction from it. And the only thing is, if you know that you don't have any serious health issues, they will tell you, oh, don't take it because you're not going to be able to be covered when some sickness. But I had it, and even when I had issues, I'm still covered. So it is the best thing, even if you're working with any company, ask for HSC. It's very minimum premium. And if you have your spouse, they can also deduct more from your pay for your spouse, and it goes into that HSA, which is your personal account, and you can use it for all kinds of medical things. And if you pay out of pocket anywhere, you can go and pay back yourself from that account. You go back and they send you a check. So it's very good.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing, and it's not restricted to that job where you are.
No, you can take it
Personal
anywhere.
account
It's personal.
is your
And you have
personal
a
account.
card, you have a Visa card.
Yes, and it's not Cobra. There's nothing like I quit from this job. The Cobra will send me a letter that I have to start all over again. Is your personal account. Thank you, Prof, for sharing. We appreciate you. Olu?
Yeah, hi. I just wanted to say like HSA is awesome. And in addition to what she just said, you can actually, similar to your retirement account, which is not advice, but in HSA is advice, you can transfer from employer to employer. So they can move that money from wherever, from your company's HSA to the new company that you're going to. And I have one. I stopped contributing to it a long time ago because we switched over to my husband's insurance. So I forgot about it. And my daughter was denied speech therapy last year. And this year, they said we have to pay deductible. And then I just remember, wait, we have HSA. turns out it continues to grow because I put it in an investment and it's grown from like 3,000 that I had it to like 6,000. And my husband has like more than double of what I have. So it's there whenever you want to use it. It's really amazing. Especially like the book said, if you are like pretty healthy and you don't really do a lot of medical expenses, it is a very good choice because you keep the premium low and all you're doing is your regular checkups while you're putting the extra inside your HSA to grow tax-free. And eventually you can use it for retirement when you retire, which is why I signed up for it in the first place.
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing, Olu. Matilda.
Thank you, Dr. Ruth. So, like everybody said, HSA is really amazing. I used to have it when I had my job, and the company was using Cobra, so a high deductible insurance. And if you are under the high deductible, they allow you automatically, if you want, or in fact, to choose HSA. So me, I chose HSA, and when I left my job, before I leave my job, I email HR to ask them, am I able to use it? They say yes. So even though I already left my job, I kept my HSA. And before that, the company is also matching with HSA. I don't know if other companies do that, but the company I was working for, they were matching the HSA. The same way they do with 401k. So it was amazing. My HSA went so up, and I was stressing like, okay, I'm in good health. Am I gonna ever use it? Yes. When I got pregnant, guess what? Going to OB, that's the card I was using. So it's amazing. It's really amazing.
Awesome. Awesome. Wow, 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 guys. Look at that, Dr. Vida. Dr. Vida, you're muted.
So sorry. Good morning, everybody. It's another day with another excitement.
Yes.
So just to piggyback on everybody, unfortunately, not all the companies have all this beauty stuff. Some companies are only restricted to FSA, and that's what I have because my hospital don't have the added. But even though, that being said, you need to be informed about which one you are using and the deadlines that pertain to this FSA, signing up on it with your hospital or your company, whichever one. Either or. If you don't spend the FSA amount that you contribute, you lose it at the end of the year. But if you do have it, it goes very far because if you need an eyeglasses, which some of them can be pricey, you can use it for it, and it's free. It's your own money. You have your card, just like the HSA, and you use it for your over-the-counter, your medical co-pays, your anything, which comes a long way. So if you are on this platform today and you don't have any of what we are talking about, FSA, HSA, and HRA, please do yourself a favor. You pick the amount you want to put in, and some companies will back you up, but for the most part, you are your own owner. It is the best thing to have. At the end of the year, you can pay off everything you spent your pocket money to buy as far as medical supplies and co-payments is about. And you get your money back. So it may be little money, but it goes far. I mean, I'm enjoying this learning moment every day, but this even tops it and makes it better. Thank you all for listening.
Thank you so much, Doc. Thank you. Dr. Vida, which state are you?
New York.
New York.
I'm a proud New Yorker.
I'll be in New York in September, so you're going to show me around. All right.
I will be more than happy.
All right, my people. The truth is that ability to get information and use the information. They have given us 3 categories, which a lot of people here know. But look for the one that suits you, especially also if you're a business owner. If you want to leave that job, don't get stuck because you have health insurance. Find a way that you can actually get these things and get deductions legally. Think legal. If it's legal, guys, do it. if it's legal. But if you don't know, our eyes have been opened. In case you leave here, you can go back and read that page again so that you understand what all this whole thing is all about. It's really amazing. There are good information out there, and most of us don't have it. Okay, this is really amazing. Miss Falakemi.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for this book, and thank you for analyzing it, and for everybody that has contributed positively to open our eyes. Me especially, I'm still learning. I really appreciate you all. So this HSA, I've heard about it, but I didn't have the understanding of how it can work for me and everything. But this morning, my eyes is more open today. But question I have is this. So do I have to enroll for this during open enrollment at my job? Or I can get this outside my job independently? Or how do you get involved in this?
Very good question. So, Miss Falakemi, one thing that we have done this morning is to open your eyes again the second time
Yes.
to hear the knowledge. The next thing now is for you to go research. So I just gave an assignment. Go and research, read more on the IRS website about HSA, okay? And the rest of them. Read more about them. Look at the qualifications. What are the eligibility? Then look at the companies that can offer them. And now sit down with them and ask the right questions.
Okay.
Okay. Now, the reason that these people are writing this is because they were looking for what will benefit a small business. So if you own a small business, then look at how will my small business benefit from this. Okay. And you go from there. That will be my recommendation. Okay. Because of course, some of them is going to come with open enrollment depending on which organization you work and what they offer. But it starts with you knowing a little bit more, because this is just a tip of the iceberg and we have not finished this book yet. But I would recommend for everybody here that have access to, that can read and write. Don't just jump into it. Read through it. Find all the pros and cons and take action. You have to take action. Okay? Go ahead, Miss Pat.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ruth. Good morning, everybody. Just Ms. Folakemi, it's just one part of your question I will respond to. In my workplace, we have is during the open enrollment, you can enroll for that HSA. I don't know if you want to take a private insurance, if you can, get that. It just depends on the company that offers it, but they offer that in my company. I have one, I'm using it, and it's helpful for me and my family. So it's true open enrollment, you can enroll for that.
And some of these things, your
Thank you.
employer will have it, and most people will take it. Some people will not take it again. They look at the premium they pay. I wonder how middle class have been wired. All they think about is free stuff. Okay. But if you're still working and they offer these things, why not go back this week? As you enter this week, go back to your benefit office per se and read through what they actually have. This is August. Most of them open enrollment will start around September or thereabouts. So pay attention when there is open enrollment. I was one of those ignorant people, and that's why came the book club. So I was one of those that I don't know when open enrollment comes. I don't know when it goes, to the point that they even change our plan. I have no clue that there's a difference between HMO and PPO. Oh God, ignorance, eh? Do you all know that ignorance is the only evil spirit that exists? Ignorance is the only evil spirit that is, ignorance and poverty. I'm telling you. I didn't know they have changed our plan. I went to dental appointment. They say, oh, you don't have that anymore. And they say, I have HMO. And I say, okay, where's my deductible? They say, no, HMO, there's nothing to pay. But they tell you the amount you have to pay. And I say, oh, shoo. and it's not everybody that accepts it. So I paid the price of not knowing what is going on. So please shine your eye. Dr. Cecilia.
Dr. Ruth, good morning.
Good
What a
morning. How are you?
wonderful day. Good. So I just wanted to say something. Dr. Vida already said what I wanted to say, but I want to add that if you have this HSA or FSA or the other one, and let's say that you all in January you start making payment, because for the companies that do it during the open enrollment. So let's say that you get it in January, so you're still making payment, and you happen to have a procedure done in that January, even when you don't have all the amount contributed, you just started in January. And if, as long as you have enough money to cover the procedure that you're doing in January that you don't have you have not made the payment in HSA, they will still refund you the money. For example, I had my tooth a tooth procedure that cost about 4,000 something. I don't have up to 4,000. My total amount was 2,000. And this was January. So they went ahead and paid 2,000 in January to cover the expenses while I continued to make the payment. So it was really very helpful. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Go ahead, Miss Katie.
Katia, thank you. My question is really for Ms. Titsi. What private insurance company did you use? I have someone who's asking me questions, who's asking me about that.
Plenty of them. I mean, there were some which were even affiliated with Christians, some of them whereby people contribute. Offhand, I don't even know, because that's a span of almost 20 years I've been working.
Oh, that's okay.
So I changed from one, but the last one, if I can go look back, but for now, offhand, I know it was an organization of Christians.
Maybe it's CHM. I think CHM is one of the Christians one. I thought you had another one. That's okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you so much, Dr. Wood, for all you do. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Vida. Go ahead. Is that a new hand?
So, yes, it's a newer hand. So, I would like to share my own experience using FSA. All right. My hospital only provides FSA, and they have opening enrollment in November. If you miss it 1/2 day, they will not enroll you. So, they will send an email out, which a lot of people ignore because of the premium they have to pay. But the premium is what you choose to pay. Once you enroll, it goes out throughout the whole year till December 31st. And then you have until April 1st to claim, right? So even though you may not have enough money in it because it's the whole year, you're paying $30 a paycheck or whatever, at the end of 31st, whatever medical expenses you have incurred, whatever over-the-counter stuff you bought, whatever uniform, and mind you, your money can be spent on uniform and shoes. You can sit down one time, submit all this with your receipts, and guess what? You get reimbursed within 24 to 72 hours. So why am I saying that? Because I even had it and I didn't know that it covers uniforms. I didn't know that it covers for shoes. So I'm sharing this so that somebody else can benefit and know that once you sign up for it, if you don't get to use it for medical reasons, don't let it go to waste. Use it for other things that may qualify. And it's very easy to know because they keep emailing you for information on how to use your money in the FSA account safely. So if you don't have it, it's very time sensitive. You miss the April 1st claiming what you have spent, you don't get it. It goes back to Uncle Sam, even though it's your own money. But if you submit it before then, believe me, it's like a Christmas gift. You get all your money back.
no
Wow.
tax. Yes.
Wow, wow, wow.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much, Doc, for sharing. I appreciate that. Guys, you see, this is open forum. Invite your people. Let them come. I bet you if these 200 and something people are paying attention this morning, I tell you that 1 or 2 or 3 lives will be changed. And that is the impact we're trying to make, is to bring the system. We're trying to expose and discover the system. Let's engage in discovering the system and making it easier for anybody to thrive and live a comfortable life. You don't have to make too much money, but let your money work for you. Because when your money works for you, it takes away a lot of stress. It takes away marital crisis. It takes away mental health crisis. It gives you peace of mind. And it even give you the capacity to deslave yourself. Yes, you can deslave yourself. Thank you for paying the price of 2 hours this morning to equip yourself, because I know the knowledge you have is going to help and become contagious to another person who is willing to listen to you. Our next book club is going to be on the 15th. Is that a Saturday? Let me make sure that's a Saturday.
Yes, it's a Saturday.
Okay, our next book club will be on the 15th at 8 a.m. We're still continuing to read this book, but start getting ready, okay? Start getting ready for this book, okay? The Business Owner's Guide to Financial Freedom, What Wall Street Isn't Telling You, okay? That is the book we're going to read after we finish this. So if you don't have it, I will encourage you. Guys, these are the investments you're going to make. You're going to invest in books. Some people say, oh, audiobooks. Audiobooks are good, but guess what? You cannot compare it to the books. Technology cannot wipe books away. Let me tell you the truth. Okay? So instead of you buying those 2 shoes, buy 1 shoe, use the other money and buy books. It's going to reward you so many books, so many shoes later. My name is Princess Dr. Ruth Ifediora. I'm your host today, by God's grace. Until God keep us alive, next 15th, we're going to meet here again. And guess what? I'm a licensed financial professional, but my commission, my passion, my purpose, my daily happiness is to see how to share this knowledge with the next person to understand the economic system of America, the economic system of Canada, and the economic system of anywhere you find yourself. My number is 469-487-3469. I repeat that, 469-487-3469. Follow me on Facebook. So follow me on YouTube. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, whatever. I'm not a technology server, but I try my best to get to a certain level. And let's continue to read. Let's continue to expand our mind. Let's continue to have an open mind. Open it and expand it. Because some people can open, but they refuse to expand. Open it, expand it. Join us. This is book club. We're not representing any organization. We're reading and sharing information for ourselves. Education of the people, for the people, and by the people. We are reading their laws and we're expanding it. We have to deslave ourselves. Enough is enough. I appreciate all of you for being here this morning. Thank you for sacrificing your 2 hours sleep to be here. Thank you for all you do. If nobody celebrates you, learn to celebrate yourself. You can grab a cup of wine. You can grab anything you want to do to make yourself happy. Because the happiness you have today, money cannot buy it. Okay? But guess what? What can the poverty buy? Nothing. So pursue economic knowledge, pursue spiritual knowledge, pursue physical knowledge. And I bet you, when that day comes for you to leave, you will look back and you appreciate all the time and energy you put in to build yourself that will build generational impact. Thank you so much. Join us on the book club group me. If you're not there, can somebody post it in the chat? Okay. And this book club is also live on YouTube. I'm going to put it in the chat right now. Okay, I'm going to put it in the chat so that if you want to share with your friends, group me, if you're not or colleagues that do not show up today, just send this link to them. Okay, send this link to them, let them listen, and invite them to join us next on the 15th of August. Let them join us early in the morning, 10 o'clock. They're free to go. Okay, you don't have to pay nothing. The only price you pay is to leave your bed. Okay, and it's not easy to leave the bed. Otherwise, thank you so much. I love you guys. Enjoy the rest of your week. Welcome to the month of August. Write down your goals and your strategies, your vision, what you want to achieve in the month of August. Write it today. Pray over it. Those of you that like to fast over it. Okay? And go to work. Pray without works. Faith without work is dead. Pray, act, evaluate, and continue to pray.
Amen.
Thank you so much and have a good
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Dr. Ruth. Thank you so much.
Ruth.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Thank
Dr. Ruth.
Amen.
Thank you,
Amen.
everyone.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you,
Ruth.
Dr.
Thank
Ruth.
you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
everyone.
Everyone. Have
Let
a good day.
Appreciate you
God
all.
bless.
Thank you.
Life is not about how you feel. Life is about your mind is strong, nothing will shake you. You'll stop fearing hardship because you'll know that every battle is just another step toward your greatness. The people who make it in this world are not the ones who have it easy. They are the ones who refuse to quit. They are the ones who took every hit life threw at them and kept swinging back. Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. You can't control everything that comes your way, but you sure can control how you respond. Most people ruin their own lives, not because of what happens to them, but because of how they choose to react. If somebody disrespects them, they blow up. If something doesn't go their way, they break down. They let their emotions dictate their actions, and that's why they stay stuck in the same cycle of stress, regret, and missed opportunities. Do you ever notice how the most successful people stay calm under pressure? It's not because life is easier for them. It's because they have trained themselves to respond with wisdom, not emotion. They don't let people push their buttons. They don't let situations steal their focus. They understand that reacting the wrong way can cost them everything. So they choose to stay in control no matter what. That's the difference between those who win and those who lose. The quickest way to destroy yourself is to let your emotions make your moves. You say the wrong thing in anger, and now you have a problem you could have avoided. You react out of fear, and now you miss an opportunity that could have changed your life. You let sadness take over, and now you waste weeks, months, maybe even years dwelling on something instead of fixing it. Every time you let emotions control you, you lose power over your own life. Some of you are out here reacting to every little thing. If somebody looks at you the wrong way, you are ready to fight. If somebody says something you don't like, you lose your cool. That's a weakness. That's giving your power away. You can't let every situation pull you into an emotional spiral. You have to be bigger than the moment, stronger than the feeling. If you want to be in control of your life, you have to start by being in control of yourself. When something happens, pause before you react. Give yourself time to think. Ask yourself, is this response going to help me or hurt me? 9 times out of 10, if you respond with emotions, you are going to make things worse. But when you step back and think, you can make a decision that keeps you in control. The more you practice this, the more powerful you become, because the person who controls their reactions controls their destiny. People will test you. Life will throw obstacles your way. But when you know how to stay steady, no matter what, nothing can break you. You stop wasting energy on nonsense. You stop losing focus over things that don't matter. You stop making mistakes that set you back instead of moving you forward. Controlling your reactions is one of the most powerful skills you will ever develop, because it puts you in charge of every situation. When you master your reactions, you master your future. No more overreacting. No more letting small things knock you off track. No more making emotional decisions that cost you in the long run. You have the power to choose how you respond to everything in life. And once you understand that, you become unstoppable. Pain is something you can't escape in life. You are going to face disappointments, heartbreaks, failures, and losses. But pain is not the end of you. It's the beginning of something greater if you learn how to use it. See, most people let pain break them. They get hurt and they shut down. They lose something and they give up. But the strongest people, they take that pain and turn it into power. They use it as fuel to